Did you already hear Eddie Merckx had surgery today? He had to undergo a surgery. He got a hip replacement. He had a pressure on his back. Do you have a message for him?
Oh, it's news to me. So yeah, I hope him well. Hope he will recover best. I hope he will go back on the bike after. And I really hope he's fine. I did know.
How do you see him in cycling history as a cyclist, Eddie Merckx himself, because he's become 80s in front of the Tour de France? Are you still hunting for his record, perhaps?
No,
When we talk about your 2024 season, I think many talks about maybe one of the greatest seasons in cycling history or close to. How do you go to bed at night thinking of this 2024 season?
For me personally, it sure was the best season ever. Probably in the last decade, probably was the best season overall. But I'm not the one to judge. But from my point of view, was a really great year. I had a great time, and it was just all in all exceptional. So I go to sleep with good things in my mind.
What made it all like click, and what made it all like continuing working this year?
I don't know. I guess it just comes and goes, and sometimes you have a good luck on your side, sometimes not so much. And in cycling, the sport is like this. And this year, I must say that I'm really grateful and lucky that everything went more or less super smooth in this season. That I was able to be in good shape in each race from the very beginning until the end. So, just everything. Small pieces comes together, training, nutrition, the environment, just overall feeling, and just all comes together for a perfect season.
I think could you talk through your 2025 program and explain your objectives for the different blocks in the program?
Yeah, it's nothing crazy in my program again. Just I start like I've been doing in the past years with UAE Tour, and probably then some classics in Italy, some Belgian classics, Olgos, Ardennes, and then preparation for the Tour. I think the Tour is the main goal alongside World Championships, I would say again, to defend both, which gives me great pleasure if I can achieve defending the titles.
Do you think you can still improve, or is it more about keeping the same level as last year?
I mean, improvements, for sure, experiences grow still, and I still don't consider myself as an old rider, still pretty young, so maybe still some room for development. But we will have to wait and see through the winter if I can improve something more. It looks, for now it looks good, but we will have to wait to see the first races if I can be better or not. But even if I'm a little bit worse than this year, I think it's going to be okay.
What kind of areas you have seen where you could probably improve most? Is there some particular area to improve physically?
Did you say magical? No, it's just small details, like in any other thing. I think people, us humans, we are improving ourselves. I think until the very end, and I think in the sport is the same. You try to improve until the end of your career, and when you cannot improve so much more, maybe it's the time to finish the career, or when it goes downwards, you realize. But there's always, all the details on the bike, off
You didn't have many rest this off-season, in events, awards, media, flights, and whatever. Do you see yourself having this kind of off-seasons many more years, or it was like a sort of exemption for you?
I mean, I had a great off-season. Yeah, we had a nice time in UAE camp. Okay, some complications there, but good off with the teammates. And then I was on vacation as well with Dushka. It was really great. And then for some obligations that I couldn't say no. And yeah, just you have to. You always have to go somewhere. You cannot just all year round or all the time sit at home and do nothing. You have to see people, friends, family, sponsors, some events, and yeah, I just actually every year is more or less the same. It gets pretty busy, intense before I really start the trainings seriously. But yeah, it's a good organization. You can do it very good. But yeah, it's really tight.
And last one for me. I don't know if you have ever talked about mental health, but you're now like a superstar in every sport. So I want to ask you if you have ever think about having some help in that issue.
Yeah, mental health is a thing that in the past was not talked about enough, I think, and now people start to realize that mental health is quite important. But I don't think many people quite understand how it works. But yeah, it's hard to find someone that you can trust about your if you have mental health issues. So that's yeah, one step that you need to find a good mental coach or a psychologist. And yeah, I think there's with this you can also improve. No? If you have mental health issues and you get help, then it also affects the performance. I mean, either way, it affects the performance. If you have issues, you will not perform well. And if you have somebody that you can trust and that can help you in this aspect, then performance will also be greater. But more important is that you will be more relaxed, more happy, and also outside of the camp.
You signed a long-term contract with the team. Maybe this question is a little bit related to that one. Does it make you feel more settled as a rider for the next few years? You don't have to think about the contract.
And that's one thing for sure. When you sign on contract, you can focus more on just on cycling and being good. You don't worry when it's coming to new contract to sign. So yeah, this is for sure advantage when you sign a longer contract, that you're more calm in that way. But also me, I just feel very homey here in this team. I know everybody very good. I built some great friendships here, so yeah, for me it's just it's really good to be here for a long time.
You choose for big tests and not for your bet, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not final decision. Maybe I can still do Paris-Roubaix, but yeah, it's. I don't think it suits me the very best, and yeah, I can say there's still time to go to try to do Paris-Roubaix some other year, not next year.
Okay, Roger, you find it's important to race many classics?
No, it's just I really like to do classics, and last year I had a really great classic season until I crashed. So, and this year was a bit different, but I want to go back to cobbles at least a few more times in my career, and I think I just it doesn't matter if I have world champion stripes or not. I just like to do that.
Okay. Christian Prudhomme said that racing is getting too fast, and the riders are too fast, and with that you have more risk. Is racing too fast, and whose responsibility is it to improve safety?
I mean, everybody wants to go faster all the time, and it's the whole cycling world is developing like any other sport, breaking records every year and going faster and faster. Yeah, the technology moves ahead, and yeah, in one way, I totally understand we cannot be stuck on a I don't know, steel bike with that goes 10 km per hour slower on the flat, because then also marketing don't go so well now with selling the bikes and stuff like this. The jerseys and helmets, shoes, everything is just needs to improve always. Like we talked about before, you want to improve on the bike, and the sponsor want to improve as well to make it better than competition. And there's no limit for now where the bikes can go, how fast they can go. Every year we see new bikes, and they're faster and faster. Also the riders getting faster, which means I don't know exactly. When you go faster, maybe it's more risk, but I don't think there was no crashes 100 years ago, or no risk even if they go 28 average speed on the race, and now we go, I don't know, 45. I think they still have crashes.
We'll just do a few more questions in English, sorry.
Tadej, Spanish fans love you. Can you give them some hope you will be in the next World Cup?
Yeah, there is always a chance, but it's still December, so it's a bit far away.
Today, the street Grand Tour is not an option for you?
I don't think so. We have also 30 riders in the team, so I don't need to go ahead all the races myself.
Machine said not this year, maybe the year after?
Yeah, I would love to try, but it's not a priority, and it's not something that I would die for to go for 3 Grand Tours in a year.
You go with rice, sir?
If you could choose freely, which Grand Tours would you prefer to do, and what are your considerations of doing Giro Tour or Tour Vuelta?
I don't know. Actually, this year I did Giro Tour. It would be nice to do Tour Vuelta or Giro Vuelta as well, but of course Tour is the most important one, the biggest. But yeah, I find out this year that 2 Grand Tours is really nice to do in a year, if you have a good shape, of course. But it really doesn't matter in which way. You just need to plan and organize really well your trainings, your planning with the training camps, rest periods in between, and you can do anything.
So a lot of what you do, a lot of your improvements are related to science, and a lot is calculated in cycling now, but tactically you are free. How important is for you to be free, to attack from long range, and how much do you enjoy doing so?
Well, I think cycling is one of the most free sports when it comes to tactics and this. Free in that case. You need to improvise a lot because there's so many options that can go in the race that in the meeting you can speak 10 hours about the race and you will never get it right because so many options that can happen. So yeah, in general cycling is really open racing. Riders need to think with their head many times, and yeah, I really like that part of the sport that is is really unpredictable.
Just 4 more questions in English.
I want to ask you about one of your big remaining goals, which is Milano San Remo. I don't know if you have already thought or planned about the race, how to win it, if you're going to think about something different.
Yeah, maybe I cannot say it's not so. That's the one that is least predictable race in the calendar, but it's still one of the races that I really want to prove myself again and again, and I'm coming closer to the first place, but it's getting slowly and slowly. But yeah, I Sanremo, I wouldn't say it's the most important thing to have a aerobike. Sure, it helps, but there you, more you need comfort because you really long time on the bike. But yeah, you need also a bike that goes really fast on gradients like 5 to 7%, and goes well in the corners. For the last part of the race, I think, yeah, there's a lot of times you need to take some close risks, you know, and on this part of the course, like Race and Foggia is really quite technical downhill, so you need to fast bike that goes down.
So once again, try to talk about Eddie Merckx. He said you are already better than him. How proud does it make you to hear from Eddie Merckx that you are already better than him?
Yeah, no, it's flattering, and I feel more that he says those words. So, but yeah, I really don't see myself comparing with him because I never followed him on the races, or yeah, I was just born too late to compare myself with him if I don't know enough of things that he done.
Just a final question from Ruben, sir.
If you had to choose, what is the one most important factor in your development?
Well, right now, or like, I don't know. I think the consistency, the focus on the training, being healthy, nutrition, sleeping, but yeah, this consistency, rhythm that you have, ritual every day that you can focus on what you want to do and without any disturbances. That's the best thing to improve.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Now we go to Slovenian for 10 minutes.